Welcome to this video. Today I have with me Rob Botts from Dove. I'm Ruben Dua, and then we have Mike Porter from PMC Content Services, otherwise known as Print Mail Consultants. So Mike, you and I actually connected on this simple idea that video emails drive revenue. And I know that you had a specific problem that you wanted to solve, a solution that you found and that now you're using. And then as a result of all of this, you're getting results. You're getting customers to be engaged and driving revenue. And that is the exact thing that we love to showcase in our series here, in our leadership series. So Mike, if you could start with a short bio and let's get in a couple of these questions.
Sure. Well, I'm an independent consultant. I do work with companies that are in a specific niche, the printing and mailing and customer communications business. So I do a little bit of consulting on that, but mostly what I do is content generation and content marketing strategies for companies that are in that industry. So I spend a lot of time writing and creating content and promoting that. Just stick with that one industry where I've been working in that business for about 40 years. So have a lot of experience and a lot of contacts and so I stick with that one particular industry, and it's worked out pretty well.
Very cool. Now, tell me something. What was the problem that you were trying to solve? What did you notice? What was the sort of friction point or the lack of engagement or frustration that you were dealing with that catalyzed this whole thing for you to start to say, you know what, I want to put a video in an email and I want to send that to my customers? What was that?
Yeah. No, it's very specific. I have a part of what I do is I conference with each of my clients twice a year. And because we work off of a content plan, we actually schedule things out a year in advance. And we touch bases at least twice a year to kind of go over that plan and look at some of the results. What are we seeing on social media for them? How are they getting, are they getting leads off of this content that we're generating for them and so forth? Talk about any adjustments we need to make in the plan. So that's a really important part of what we do because it gives me a roadmap of what we're going to do next. And I was having trouble getting people to schedule those calls. And so I put together a video that listed the benefits of doing that call, kind of went down what the agenda was going to be. And then I also used it to introduce some new services that I wanted to talk about during the call. And I've done that a few times, and I've gotten a lot better response. People are actually scheduling those calls, and we're going through and doing those conferences as scheduled. And on every single one of them, it's ended up as an expansion of services for me. So it's been a really good response for me. And I think that the video is helping there.
Got it. Now, actually, Rob, I had a question for you. One of the things that you evangelize a lot is bringing back humanity into comm. What happened here? Well, what's the dynamic?
One of my favorite expressions to use is from the Oracle, who's here at Dove. And his famous expression is, no one ever said, wow, what an email you just sent me. Wow, what a text message you just sent me. It's like dead, and when you do a video, you're bringing you to the stage, you're bringing yourself. It's almost like you're reaching through the screen and you're right there with the other person. And Mike, my question is for you, style wise, do you use the webcam a lot? Do you use mobile? What's kind of your, what are you most comfortable with?
I actually use a variety of things. I use the webcam for some things, usually for just the initial message that's connected to the email. And then I use other tools. I've got a variety of other, video content creation tools. I use like Sony Vegas and some other things to put together some of the other things that are like on the landing page. So I use a variety of things, but I'm comfortable either way. It works great when I'm trying to demonstrate something. some of the things that we do with social media, it's easier for me to show people what that is, and I can do the screen capture, and I can talk about it at the same time, and I can be on the screen in the little corner there, and that's working out pretty well for me as well.
That's great.
Nice. One of the things that I think about a lot, and this reminds me of when I first started doing videos. In fact, there was this place I was at. I was on a basketball court, and this was years and years ago. And I just wanted to feel more comfortable recording video. So I grabbed my phone and I started just talking on the basketball court. And what came out it didn't feel authentic. It felt preachy. It felt inauthentic. It felt like I was sort of forcing to sound more intelligent than I was. And I think that I was trying to regurgitate the personality of people that I saw on the internet, like social media influencers, trying to sound like them, trying to sound like, hey, this is what you got to do, and this is what you shouldn't do, and sort of being that, some people call it like hustle porn, or it's a little derogatory, but hustle, just that whole hustle culture. And as I did more practice, I started to realize that I would get more calm. I wouldn't make as many mistakes. I wouldn't have to do as many takes. And I would just feel like myself. I wouldn't feel that imposter syndrome. What did you suffer from, if any, in your initial journey of recording video? Were you one of those 100 take guys where like, in the trash, I'm going to do this over again? What was that like for you?
Well, I'm not a one-take wonder, that's for sure.
Okay.
I did try working off of a script, and didn't like that at all. It was way too stiff. And I mean, I'm a writer, so my scripts are meant to be read, not to be spoken, I think. And so I abandoned that. And then I've done it. Sometimes if it's a long message, well, I try not to be them very long, but if they are, then I'll break it up into sections so that I can record a section at a time and then splice them together. That works out better for me. I'll usually go as long as I can until I stumble or make a mistake or forget something, and then I'll cut the recording, and I'll go back a little bit and start over, and then I'll just splice them together.
That's very cool. Practice, right? People talk about
Yep.
practice. People talk about this state of not having to try so hard to do something. And in my opinion, the only way to do that is to do something 100 times, maybe 1,000 times. So, the way that I always ask people is, if they don't feel comfortable on video, if they feel imposter syndrome, if they feel inauthentic, if they feel insecure, lack of confidence, they don't like the way that they look, sometimes you just have to do it 100 times. Fill up your trash can. It's that Shakespearean trash can with all the, all the, the papers around it. We've seen that trope in so many movies, and the same applies for video.
It's part of the process,
right? Part of the process, right?
Yeah. I
Very
do the same
important.
thing when I do presentations. I just go through it over and over again until I'm comfortable. And every time the presentation is totally different from what I rehearsed, but I'm a lot more comfortable with the material. I know where to go, and it works out fine.
Now, they say in public speaking that if you want to feel comfortable on stage, just imagine that everyone in the audience is naked.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've never tried that. I don't know.
Right? I've never tried that either. What I would crack up laughing. I don't know. What is it for video? This is asynchronous video communication. Human being, camera, record, will send later, not live. I mean, this is live, but what we're talking about with video emails is asynchronous. How can we feel more comfortable? What is that camera? Is it a
Well, look at the camera as your ally,
okay?
right? Because you're working together on this,
Okay.
and no one else is around to witness it.
Okay.
You're rehearsing. Imagine like you're rehearsing backstage.
Okay.
You're with someone, and there's no one judging. There's no one watching. Not that they'll be doing that anyway. But look at the camera as your friend that you're going to practice with.
Okay.
And the friend does what if they're a good friend? They help you. So
not some of my friends.
Well, you need new camera friends. But if you don't have them, get new friends. But the point is, do it like you said. Practice makes not perfect sometimes. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like the one thing we always say is, as long as you're being yourself, that's half the battle. Like and then you just go through your material. You know what you want to say, and it's just repetition.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Camera's your friend. such good advice. Just to think of someone that's empathetic, understanding, that's going to give you honest feedback. I
And
love it.
it's just you and the camera.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have
Right.
to be polished, I don't think. A matter of fact, in some cases like customer testimonials and things like that, it's better that it's not, because then it looks like it's rehearsed. So, in a lot of cases, it's better just to be natural and then to be, like a news anchor.
There are
So,
places for slick videos, but with this, it's really about the authenticity
Yeah.
and the
yeah.
realness.
Now, I think that there's something that's really important when it comes to video recording, video sort of production, when it comes to content marketing or just marketing in general. And I think that I kind of break it into three realms. Realm number one is direct communication with prospects, existing customers, exactly what you're doing right now. Sending out a video via email. You can do it via more channels. Like Dub has an integration into LinkedIn, into hundreds of CRMs, SMS, just a lot of different ways to communicate with video. And that's really the first thing. We might call that one-to-one, personalized video communication. The second realm is broadcast, one to many. Now we're in email campaigns, sending an email out to a number of people, larger channels. And then the third, of course, being evergreen content or social content. This is YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and that whole list, right? Now, my question for you is, where do you kind of fit in the video communication, within 1, 2, and 3? Again, personalized videos, one-to-one, broadcast emails, campaigns, and then social media content. What's your comfort zone? What are you up to right now?
Right now, I've just been concentrating on the personalized one-to-one.
Got it.
But I have plans to expand into those other areas.
Nice.
And I'll give you a good example. I write for a trade publication. I have a column, and I've been there for 10 years, and I promote those columns through LinkedIn and Twitter. And I have an opportunity to do that through just a regular post, or I could do it. I've done some audio, which is kind of like the author's comments about the article that they're about to read, and I could do that on video as well. So I plan to try that and see how that works out. That's another use, and then I think I could also do the same thing. I'm toying with the idea of doing like a video newsletter, which would be more the broadcast kind of an approach, where everyone gets the same content, but is delivered via video rather than in written form.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the thing that I think helps me to really understand this whole evolution of content creation is this idea of community. How do I build community at scale, right? How do I build
Mhm.
community at scale? For me, when I connect with people on a one-to-one basis, which is kind of what you and I did to sort of engage this whole thing. And then secondly is campaigns, which is how do I broadcast a message to update a lot of people, that's efficient. And then number 3 is creating high value content for social platforms so that people can either find me or we sort of ping them, and then they get benefit, they get value. And I think that for me, this really encapsulates my journey of video calling. I started out clicking record, sending one person a video, and then it went to the next level, which is a group. And then it went to now I actually feel comfortable putting myself on social media, knowing that if someone types my name right now, they're probably going to see 1,000 videos of me on the internet, and me actually feeling comfortable with that. And that takes a lot of time. I'll tell you why I love it. It's because they're all clones. They're all clones of me. It's people learning about me, people learning about the business when I'm sleeping or when I'm doing other things. And that to me is just efficient.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's your actionable self.
It's my actionable self. Right? A lot of personas out there. So tell us something. When you now send a video to a prospect, how salesy, quote unquote, salesy are you? Do you find yourself kind of going for the sale? Are you more passive in your effort? Have you experimented with different formats? What works for you best?
I don't really use video or email as a sales to try and sell anything. I mean, all my business is B2B, of course, and I'm asking people, to invest, 5 figures a year with me, and so that's not something that I can do without, and it's all custom. So, but what I do use it for, and matter of fact, I just recently did this, is we had gone through the proposal stage, which I did online with the customer, and I hadn't heard back from them in about a week, and so I sent them a follow up that had a video in it, and in that video, I demonstrated one of the items that was in the proposed plan that we had talked about the week earlier, and I did the screen capture and talked over it, and showed them exactly what it would be like to do these social media promotional drip campaigns that I do. And I heard back 2 days later that said, yeah, we want to sign up. Let's get this put together. And we got a new customer out of that. So worked really well for something like that. I think as a reinforcement rather than as like a cold call kind of a thing.
Nice. That makes a lot of sense. I think that's the balanced place of not being too salesy, being value oriented, building relationships up, having people trust us. That's what it's all about. If they want to buy, people will buy.
Yep.
There's no way we can push that upon people. There's too many choices. There's Google. They'll find what they want. So love that advice. I actually just shared your LinkedIn URL within the comments right now. So we encourage folks to go check out your LinkedIn profile. Make sure to connect with Mike. And then I think the other thing that we would recommend here is for people to check out your website. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop up your website on the screen right here and just give people sort of a sneak peek here.
Yeah.
Love it.
Ruben, if you can see that link at the top where it says click here. If you do that one, it takes it to the content management website.
Perfect.
Which is probably more appropriate for this audience. So
okay, great. So here it is, and I will give you a huge shout out for putting a video right there front and center above the fold on your homepage. Very, very important. Very important. So,
yep.
And there it is. There's our guide. Lots of videos. So this is what it's all about. It's about communicating with video. It's about building an audience, and it's about ultimately scaling ourselves. So Mike, I wanted to thank you for this video broadcast. We encourage you to check out Dub if you're interested in learning more. And we intend to go and socialize this video here to get people kind of their feet wet on their journey of recording video. We'll make sure to include your LinkedIn and your website within the comments. So thanks again.
Sounds good. Good stuff here.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
Stick around for some production notes. Thanks again.
Okay.